Magick, belief systems, mind programs, points of contact, brain training, and mind mirror programs, basically. So, take a look in the mirror, but I look at the stranger. Now, to speak from source, to speak from experience, spells and unspell language, everything is mind. That's what the Hermetic laws will tell you. Everything is mind. Everything is a mind construct. Everything is constructed out of mind, out of my angel, out of my view. I look out. That's why I construct. Now, why is magic so important in constructing the realm? Magic is very important because that means when you're using magic for the better mind, I use only magic for the better mind, for empowering myself. If I am empowering myself with the correct erected intentions, that's how I construct my area, my surroundings, how I construct the overmind. But I know for a fact that what I speak about is damn powerful, for fact, because I hack the system with this. That's what we all do, but I have the blueprint. I have the original workings, because I am anchored in myself. I'm unplugged from the system. I'm unplugged, but because I'm anchored in myself. Now, mind programs are basically everything that you can perceive through the senses. Everything is a mind program. Music, everything, every sound is a mind program. Every densified object that you think is real is basically because you've not already have been in contact with that, have you? Have you been in contact with what you perceive? No. Most of the things that you have in your mind that you think are real are only ghosts. They're ghosts. They're spells. They're spells that were put upon you through the media, through another mirror, through viruses, basically. These are viruses. Viruses are not anchored in themselves. Viruses will destroy, and ghosts, viruses, they will leave when they will face the truth. They will leave for a fact, because they're not holistic. They're not holy. They're not mystic. They have to leave. When you speak truth, when you are truthful, when you know the original workings, when you know that all these things are resonating, when you know that everything is constructed out of frequency, all the things that are not true, they have to leave when you are truthful. They have to leave, because that's all the original laws. The laws of attraction, the laws of harmonics, the laws of frequencies. That's how it's working. But even that, when we take a look at source, even that is a spell, even that is a belief system. So if you're not connected to the belief system, and you're like, I don't believe in that because I believe in the polite tricks, I believe in the spells that were put upon me, that's a belief system. So the only thing that is ruling your world is the belief system that you plug yourself consciously or unconsciously into. That's how it's working. Now the quest is, of course, we live here all together, and in order to construct the human realm, we have to have certain laws and orders to live together. But are they anchored in truth? Or are they anchored in something which had to be more densified in order to not empower too many? Because if they would become very powerful, then they might use it for something bad. So the only thing that I'm really doing here is educating my brain. I educate my brain. I train this muscle. I train my mirror. And I'm not even a mirror anymore. I'm just a flux. I'm the flux. It goes through me. That's what, like, in martial arts, you go through the things. How could you do this when it's densified? You go through the things when you see these things as a mind construct, a mind program. So the mirrors will die when you no longer give them your power. But since we live here all together, the quest is, am I empowering my mirror? Am I empowering my perspective? Or am I empowering the bigger conscious and am I putting my energy into that mirror that I want to see? That's the real quest. Do you power the mirror that you would like to perceive? Now, most mirrors that we face are just ghosts that we were giving our energies. And most beings most ghosts, viruses, have not the ability to grow. They have not, because they are not anchored in themselves. They are not sourced. So they have not the ability to survive. They have to die someday, somehow they have to die. Because they are not following their own path. They're not following the source, which is always looking out. The source is looking out. Who else? Who else might look out? Who else might look out of your own window? Who else is mirroring? Somebody else? So that's what belief system and mirror programs are. And most of these things, this is why I call them ghosts and viruses, I've never really come in contact with them. Now, I'm a very, before all these crazy things were happening, I was very much in contact with my surroundings because I'm a very touchy, I'm a sensible person. I use my senses. What I use right here, right now, is my voice. My voice is my power. My voice is how I construct my area. My voice is how I construct my realm. This is how I mirror. This is how because this is what many beings do not get. I'm empty. The only thing that I could ever hold on to is when I do this. When I keep holding something in my mouth, as soon as I swallow it, it's gone. It's gone. So my body then tries still to build something out of it in my oven, in my alchemical being, in my alchemical vessel. So it still holds on to that, and I carry the shit around. But I can never hold on to that. I will lose. I have to lose that. I have to. If I keep holding on to that, that will create many problems with me. Well, I could now use that and construct something out of it. But as I told you, this is why I'm not plugged in. I'm not plugged into the system. I'm a free spirit. I am a free spirit. You cannot plug me into the system. It's impossible. Because this, I see behind the layer. I see behind the curtain. I see it. I see all these symbols and all these sigils and spells. And I consciously, in order to survive, have to plug myself into that and have to follow the rules. But I play with them. And I don't do harm with what I do. I just keep on speaking so much from source and so much from the truthful aspect. Because letters are symbols. Letters are signs of nature. You think they are connected to something that you've learned, but you have not unlearned them. This is why you cannot see the truth behind it. I don't know what these symbols are that you told me in school. I have no clue. But I know for a fact that I'm an empty vessel, and what I'm resonating with my tendons and with my constructed temple, what I send out is something way different and way more powerful than even the words that I speak, the words that I craft. Because this is a hall of mirrors. It's nothing else. The whole thing is basically empty. The whole thing is, what is it? You try with your spirit, which is basically looking out, which is perceiving all the sounds, the symbols, and the spells that you observe in here. You observe it. But your ego, because your brain is not as developed yet, your brain is very slow. Your brain is retarded. That means your brain is slow. Your brain your brain cannot hold the capacity yet. Because if you would understand all these things, you would metaphorically die. Because you cannot hold as much pressure right here, right now. But this is basically the only thing that you build up. You build up charge through oxygen. You build up charge through the elements, through the angels of mind. This is how your brain grows. But basically, you don't have a brain, because what you are is what you perceive. You are the mirror. You are this is a complete interaction all the freaking damn time. You are the substances that you ingest. It goes even further. You are the consciousness experiencing itself. You are observing yourself. You are mirroring yourself 365 days if you live under that spell. You are the realm. You are the room. You are the consciousness. You're nothing else. You only walk around in your own consciousness. That's what you are. That's why you see all the same mirrors basically all the time, because your brain is not switching. It's not on off. It's not on off. It's either way off or it's on, but it's not there is no movement. And I could just observe. I could do this. And I just observe myself. And I mirror myself right here, right now. I only face myself. What I put out that's only me. So the quest is, where do I want to go? But funny enough, I'm too intelligent, because I know that I actually never go anywhere. I never go anywhere. All I perceive is myself. And I mirror myself in other beings. I mirror myself in other beautiful beings that I attract, because I am that. And that's what I am. That's what I am. I am what I perceive. I am the consciousness. So then now we get into the points of contact. So if I do this, what can I perceive? What can I perceive? I cannot perceive. Like most people, they are in fear when they cannot see. They are so fearful. I'm blind. Yeah, you've been blind, fooling yourself all the freaking damn time because you live in that self-created illusion that you were holding up yourself into. Now I can perceive the whole realm like this. Now I touch all the things. Now I become really I get in contact with my consciousness. I push the buttons. I push the other beings. I feel them. This is how I pull your strings. I let your roles play. I'm judging you because I have the right to judge you because I have the judge source values. I judge you if you're truthful, compassionate, or tolerant. If you're not that, well, and then I see if you were sourced or not. Because basically, from the very first beginning, you are like empty. You should be empty. You should be nothing. Now you can finally choose, when you've been empty, what kind of mind program do I want to trick myself with? How do I want to be fooled? How do I want to fool myself? How do I want to perceive this experience? This is what spells are. This is what the magic programs of somebody else is doing for you. But I'm telling you here that it's about facing your own creation, facing what you spell yourself with, because then you cannot do this. You cannot be like, you were doing this to me? That was all you. Nah, it's not working like this. It's working like from the inside out and then from the outside in. But in the first place, when you are a child, you don't hold the capacity yet to be as powerful to know that it's all you. So this is why you have the responsibility to teach children in the first place that they have an own creational potential to perceive and create the world. But if you tell them that they are under your spell, so you do what I say, and then this is how this whole system is tricking us. How this whole mind program mirroring process is tricking us. It's telling us that we should do something for the others, but that's the problem. You should do everything for yourself in the first place. You should be your greatest, best potential, and you should share that for free. You should share everything for free. Now, this is the real power which we have with this technology. This is the real power that we have with the black mirrors. Because then, if we hold the media mind frame, the media potential, the media educational aspect, now if we really understand the mirroring, we could be freaking everything when we know how to clean ourselves. So this is why fasting, this is why distilled waters and urine therapy will always be holy, mystical. Because it's emptying yourself. Now, if you're empty, you can finally choose, I want to join this mind program. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to be. Now you can look out in the window. Now you can look into the windows of your soul, the windows of the light. But you are tricking yourself with these mirrors. And funny enough, if we maybe would talk about sun gazing, people tell you the sun will blindfold yourself. But basically the sun is purifying you. The sun tells you, the sun burns all the mind programs off. The sun burns all the signs and symbols and spells upon you that were magicianally hexed upon you, that you are not even aware that you were under these spells. because this is a magic realm. This is all your imagination. This is all your mind. This is all your frequency. This is all what you are. You are shooting out the rainbow. Not somebody else is shooting at you, but because you're a slave to yourself, you're a slave to yourself in the first place, and you're secondary a slave to somebody else. This is why somebody else is using you, and this is why you're pissed off. You're pissed off the system. You're pissed off the system because somebody else is pulling your strings, and you're not pulling yourself. But the only thing that you are here to do, why you're here, is to create your own life. You create your own creation. And then you have to look into the window that you do 24/7, if you live under that time frame, and be like, well, I appreciate myself. I take a look into the mirror and be like, well, that seems to be that's me, so I better work with it. And if you do not like it, then you change it. But if you then be like, okay, if you're very grumpy, if you're very like this is why I should enjoy more these mirrors. But like, I know for me it's more about sharing the knowledge, because this is what I want to do. And sometimes I'm like, why do I even share all my insides? Why do I do that? Do I enjoy the mirror? But at the same time, I'm like, yo, like this has to come out. This is how it should be. At least this is, I think, how the whole mirror should exist. Because my ego brain is very active, but at the same time, I'm speaking from something else. I'm speaking from source. I am the source. And I tolerate, like, I told you, there was a time where I was like, okay, I have to be more empty, like not appreciating what is offered to me. But if it really gets into the point of contact with me, that means if somebody's really doing this, it's not like that it's laying there and I reach out my hand to that. It's not like, that's a different thing. That's a different thing. If it's laying there, then I consciously choose to that's me. Like, I picked that shit out of here. But it's something else if the thing gets offered to me. Now that's also a perspective. If it's laying there and it's getting offered to me subconsciously. But now that it's like, you see like how my brain's working? But it's like, really, if somebody's reaching out his or her hand to me and be like, you know what, there you go, would you like to have that? I'm like, thank you. But to stay more on Magick, you don't have to do drugs. You just have to empty out yourself. This is when your brain becomes more, when your brain can hold on to more of the electromagnetic system which is around you, so that you can flux the imaginational process, the magic. That's not, magic means imagination. Imagination is electromagnetic, fluxed through the city, fluxed through the sights. The sights, the insides and outsides that I spell upon. So this is why the tongue, the end of the kundalini, the extension of the spine is so damn holy. Because I create with my tendons in my neck. Right? This is how I create, because I'm resonating with that. Now you become more aware of it. It's about your thoughts. If you hold on, like what you hold up into your mind. And I told you this, I cannot even hold on to many things. I don't hold on to that. I just let it run through me. So because it would be pointless for me to hold on to something, because what can I hold on to? This is me. This is an idea. This is a mind construct that I hold on to in my brain. It's nothing else. But you should have You are allowed and you deserve to hear the original workings. Like, this is why I will do the flip chart videos in the future, in order to be better educational. Because if you're only listening to my voice, that might be too fast for you. It might be too fast because I've done all the work. I know how it functions. Now the next step would be, in order to not give it away, but to pass it on, I try to construct a more like conceptual and methodological view onto it. And at the same time, sometimes I'm like, why am I even doing this? Because I only keep mirroring myself. That's my consciousness. That's what's looking out. That's my belief system. So I do have not even a clue if my belief system would ever be understand by you, overstand by you, integrated by you, or appreciated, or like even beneficial. I have not an idea, because that's your mind, not me. But at the same time, I am all the reflections and beings that I've ever perceived in my mind. That's what I am. I am a construct out of that. This is how the Ouroboros functions. The centipede. This is what we are. We are only a product of the mirrors which have been around us. That's what we are. So my environment keeps informing me, but in the first place, I speak from my source. And to be your own source and to eliminate all the mind constructs and programs and forms that you were like stuffed into, you have to fast. You have to drink the still waters. You have to do Shivambu Kappa. And I would not even have to, like, oh, now I've said it, right? But, because, like, literally, this is like, because even, yeah, we could speak from very intelligent and most high Buddha cultivation methods, cymatics, sound shapes. This is, I'm 99.99999, like, I'm 100% sure it's definitely how I say it is. It's definitely exactly that. But it might only be also a mind program, so I have not really a clue like how this whole ship is functioning. So this is why I consciously, I'm my own biggest critic, right? But pretty sure this is how all the shit works. These shells are all empty. They're empty. They are run by another mind program. And because I would guess, like, who was doing all the things to that extent to be like, okay, I know for a fact I'm source. I know that it's all not necessary. All the shit that I speak about, all the shit that I consume is not necessary, because basically I'm empty and I'm only a mirror to myself and I'm speaking from source. And to get to that perspective and then do all the mind programs that people are doing, this would be very original to me. That would be like, okay, cool, you know source, but you still participate onto the game. And you try to do your best to not fool people with your shit, but you just play around with it. You see it as part of like tokens and money and whatever. That would be cool with me. But most people are very parasitic. And parasitic means that they choose only one aspect of the whole thing and be like, yeah, well, I choose this aspect of the whole, and I'm only manifest on that. Not realizing that you were creating this, not realizing that's your mind. That's what you are. You are only doing this. not somebody else. You were told to do this. That's how it works. So yeah, like I just wait. Whoopsala. We have to empty out the bladder. Alright, so belief systems, mind programs, and like that's all. Like everything is a mind program. Everything is, and it's not to say like I told you this. It's not to say your mind program is worse than mine, or your mind program is good or bad. It's all mind programs. It's all a quest of perception and perspective. So the quest, like it's not, I don't want to take something away from you. It's not like this. You could still do all the things that you always do. You could always do that. But I'm offering you the truth that you can mix into your perception and be like, well, you know what, like, it sounds interesting, maybe it's something for me, maybe not. Like, I'm not forcing that onto you, because forcing is not like, it's not ever work. You have to be relaxed with things, and you have to get into contact with truth in order to be truth. Like, how do you think otherwise it would work? But basically, like I said, it's all a mirror to itself, and it's all very basically empty. It's empty. Into the emptiness, into the grid, because that's also what I told you. There are certain rabbit holes and ideas everywhere. You can like get with your mind into everything. You could be like, this is interesting, that is interesting, but what's happening and what's so sad with most people is that they live in that illusional spell. They live in that. If they knew it, or if they know it, or if they not know it, like. But most people do not even know. That's very sad. Most people don't even know that they are under a spell. That somebody else was tricking them. They're so lost souls, you know. They are lost. They're completely lost. They're completely lost into the grid, into the game. And like, to free up your spirit from the shit, you just free up your body from literally the densified shit you were ingesting. But that means, and that of course I know it hurts. It hurts because you have the illusion that you think something will be taken away from you. But that's only metaphorically mind programs which die in your head, which you do not certain any longer give you your power. That means your electromagnetism, your imagination. You don't, like, these mirrors do not longer exist. And suddenly you realize, well, you actually have probably never been in points of contact with them. Did you ever touch these things that you were powering with your mind? Did you ever touch them? How much have you really been with your senses in contact with the shit that you perceive, that you've been observed by? You get this? It's a mind trick. It's a mind trick. They are tricking you. They're tricking you with the shit. They get in your brain, and if they are in your brain, they feed off your energy. They feed off your, like, that's what the shit things are. Like, because I have the eye, I can see through the illusion of that. How can I do it? Because I'm nourishing myself out of my own piss. Literally. And I see the programs. I see the programs that minds are run by. I see them. I see how they talk, what they are, like on what kind of spell they are under. Even like if they would be like, oh, I'm religious, and that can be a great thing if you know the original workings. That's cool. If you think like, well, Jesus was saving me, and I think about like Allah and whatever. You can think about whoever it might is. If it's like in a good, intentional, mystical way, that you think you have good intentions. You have a tent, right? You have a geometrical pattern, which is having a great intention, which is having the intention, I don't know, you help others, you like, if they would like to have your help, because that's why I do not force it onto you. That would be not intelligent, because I don't know if you want to, or if you can hold on to that, if you are ready for it. Because the mirror is already there. The information is already there. It's always there. The only quest is if you're ready to perceive it, if you're ready to reach out your hand and take it. If you're ready for that, and if you understand the internal workings and the workings outside of you, if you start to take a look into the mirror, if you start to understand the points of contact, and that's all a mind program to yourself, then you start to mirror your own creation. That's what I do. That's what I am. And it may sound very far off the edge. It may sound very schizophrenic or something, but it's not like this. I do it, because I am so compassionate with you. And also, I'm under my own spell, and I'm under my own creation. I'm under my own dumb, retarded outlook on life, that I think I'm so valuable to the system that I keep sharing the shit. And sometimes I know I'm clowning myself with the shit. This is an illusion. That I think I might be beneficial to it. But at the same time, I'm like, I know, like, I'm observing all of you. What I speak from, where I speak from, what I speak about is so damn sourced for a fact. Because this is only your own mind that you observe yourself with. This is how real magic works. This is what your belief system is. You be live. I'm live all the time. I'm live in this mirror. I'm the life. I'm alive, but you be live. You believe. It's a lie to yourself. You cannot, your ears start to become cultivated if you're listening to me. But the main thing is that you start to work with your own senses and with your own sentences in order to construct the geometrical shapes around you. Your realm, you start to architect the realm, your kingdom. Your kingdom is what you perceive. It's your imagination. That's how it is. It's your mind program. It's the spells that you put yourself under. It's the ghosts that you start to blow out the genie's bottle. This is what the real mystics do. And this is why the mystics live probably, maybe if they would live in society or not, it's not really important. It is definitely for sure, because that's a mirror, but this is why you probably never really heard of the mystics, about the mystics. Because most of people think they are either way totally crazy, they cannot understand them, or they know way too much, which becomes very dangerous to society, because this is how you crumble up the whole thing. Because this is all a mirror to itself. It's all a mirror to itself. We were doing what we perceive. That's us. That's us. We were doing the shit. We were powering it. We were powering it with our eyes. So start to, this is, you are you're not informed. That's not the what's really occurring. You don't see behind the mirror. You don't see behind the layer there. But you have to be informed what's going on in the world. No. You, my friend, are powering what you are looking at. That's what's occurring. That's what you do to yourself. You keep on sending your imagination, your power, your electromagnetic nerve generated force to something which you think is real, that you don't know. You don't know. You are not in points of contact with the shit. If you would go to your mirror, you keep touching the shit, you have not even a sense of observation from the shit. You don't know. You have no clue. Yeah, but the camera was sending that to me, and this camera was in definitely it was live. That's a show. It's a show. It's a show. Start to create your own show. What, you think that's important? You think that's important? You live in that illusion that they told you were living in. You had not the power to architect your own realm. You're not, because you first of all had not the blueprint. You don't know that you're self-sustaining. How do you move? Your movement patterns in your body show me how your mind is working. This is what is happening. That's it. That's what really occurs. How do you move your body? Now I know, because I know alchemy, I know my body, I know my brain, I know the substances that I'm under, that I put myself under consciously, that I'm in a constant direct reflection with, so I put out these substances. I put out the substances that I ingest. I am the substances that I ingest. I am the mirror to the substances that I ingest. You get this? But as long as you feed yourself with the shit, you consciously keep mirroring out the shit that you ingest. So I have no reason why I should ever listen to you, because all you've been fed up with was the shit that somebody else was putting you under. You were not consciously choosing to do that. You've probably never fasted in your life, so you don't even know who you are. You don't know. You don't know your powers. You're very weak, for a fact. And I say that because I'm so compassionate with you that you should empower yourself. If you don't empower yourself, I have no reason why I should ever listen to you. I will never listen to you. Because I see the mind programs that you've been under. And I can speak from source. I can speak truth because I was wrong so many times. I was wrong so many times, for a fact. For a fact. I was wrong so many times. And I'm probably still wrong. But I'm on the way to truth. And I know, like, I already know pretty much what, like, real truth is. What real truth would be if I just shut down the mirror and I just shut down my eyes and I just observe. And then I open up my eyes and then I consciously daydream all the time. I daydream. Like, I observe I'm just like a wise old observing all of you. What are you doing? And I'm not even coming in points of contact with you because I'm flying above you. And it does not mean I'm better than you. Because I would not even share a word. I would just, like, you would not even know that I exist. You would not. Like, I would be like, yeah, I would just observe the shit. And like, don't get me wrong, I love it to be in a mind program. I have to be in the mind program in order to survive. But only if I'm consciously on that. Most people are in a mind program that they are not consciously knowing of. You don't consciously know what you do. You just keep doing the shit. You just keep doing the spells that you've been putting under. Because somebody else told you and you had not the courage and strength and power to research yourself. You don't, yeah, but I didn't have the time. Yeah, probably. You know how much time I was investing into what I'm speaking of? So this is why it's valuable. And you are also valuable with what you say. Definitely. But I keep sharing that because I see greater potential in you. I know that you're way more powerful than you think you would ever be. And I'm one of the, I'm like, if you really understand shamans, like, shamans construct the realm from, like, spirituality will always be of greater potential and stronger than a more densified version that we see as, for example, kingdoms or leaders or leagues or what the concept of politics is. Spirituality will always be stronger, always. Because your spirit is encapsulated and looking out. But if your spirit is not free, how would you ever be able to really understand the workings? You cannot. You cannot do this. You have to unplug your own avatar, your own body out of the worldly illusions, out of the worldly attached minds. It's all attached minds. You are attaching your mind to the matter. That's why your spirit is not free from the vessel. That's why I say that Shivambukalpa and the still waters and fasting is so damn powerful, because you start to sober, you start to burn and solve your soul, your spirit, out of the box, out of the bottle, out of the avatar, out of the body, the booty, the Dharma. So you start to observe, you start to see yourself as like a third person view. You start to see and like you become your own player. You start to direct and erect your direction. You choose consciously where you would like to go. And then you start to realize, like I said, this is why when the yogi starts to settle down, the monk starts to sit in prayer, in meditation, in breath, and breathing, that you just observe it. Like, what should I just take a look out the window all the freaking damn town and be like, yo, no, that's interesting. What can I actually do then just observing it. And then I'm like, okay, now I keep on moving myself, I keep on powering myself to this in order to survive, and in order to like keep my godly creator hands into the realm and keep constructing here. But mainly I'm doing this all with my mind. I'm seeing clear mind with this. Because it's a mind construct, it's an idea to itself. This is how spells and letters and science and this is how magic works. But like you are under the spell where you think that magic does not even exist. Yeah, it's not scientifically proven. Science is an imagination. Science is a spell. You live under the spell of science. For a fact, because you've been instructed to do so. You've been instructed with. This is why because like magic is like not understandable for most people. This is why I'm using the magic side in order to get to solve you out of the science thing. Because science is the same thing as magic. Science equals magic. Science is a spell. You've been told, you've been informed with something that you don't know if it's like that. You don't know. Have you done the things? Most of the things that you are told by science, you've never done for yourself. You've never done them. I read that. I've read that. No, I alchemize myself. You get this? If I do something, I speak from experience. I speak from things that I'm consciously doing. I'm sharing my experience, my outview, my outlook on life. This can't get any realer than that. But most of the things that you were doing was just a construct. And it's the same for like, in the end, it's all a mind construct. It's nothing else. But don't say that magic is not existing. I don't say that science is not existing. But science and magic is basically, it's all the same thing. It's mind. It's ghosting around. So where do you want to put your power into? I've been told there's something named like water. I don't really know what it is. I just see. I'm a mystic. I just observe what water is doing. Yeah, it has more densities and more buoyancies. That's like obvious. If I want to put that into the English spells, the angelish spells, there are more densities and more buoyancies to water. So water is basically everywhere. Water is basically sitting in everything. So if we start to work with the angels of mind, with the elements, if we put a fire onto something, the mystics, the water starts to get extracted out of the thing, so it becomes more, the thing which gets burned starts to become more dense, so it becomes an essence, and the water starts to dissolve into the mystics. Now then it rains down again, so we have cycles, we have spirals everywhere, we have rabbit holes everywhere. It gets into the sky and then it falls down again. So the same concept as you see it in Mother Nature, as you see it in the tree, is the same for the human avatar. It's urine that you start to loop in yourself, so you become more clearer, you become more clean-minded. That's a fact. I speak from years of experience with urine therapy. And I don't know if it's working in the same way for you. I have not even a clue. The further you go into a rabbit hole and the further you walk on your own path, the more you start just to see your own truth. And sure, if I would consciously start to be more into the society, more into the society spell, into the society walking, of course my mind will work like that, and I would believe that, because it's all a belief system. It's the quest is where you would like to put your mind into. But I can tell you that, like, what I experience with, what I have experienced with, how clean-minded I am, this is how it is. This is why I'm so powerful. And the funny thing is that everybody could get into that immediately. Like, you, it's just a mind click away. It's just a quest of perspective and perception. If you could start to become a mystic, like, instantly. You could start to become whatever you want to be. You could choose to wear, like, I could end this today and be something very different tomorrow. So I can switch, like, so fast, because I am the source, and everybody is the mirror to him or herself, to the pole. You don't live on the globe, you live in yourself. You look out. I don't tell you that you live on a flat earth. It's more the quest of perception. I live in myself. I don't know if I'm living in the globe, on a globe, or on a flat surface, which is called flat earth. I don't know where I live. The only thing that I can consciously perceive is myself, and the only thing that I can consciously speak of is my experience. That's what I can say. That's where I really know that might be true. Everything else is an illusion, and in the end it's all an illusion to itself. Of course, like, it's a mind program. The quest is, how do you feed your mind program? Are you, like, in a very narrow-minded out view? I'm basically, like, here in a very narrow-minded out view to myself, to, like, I only think about, like, Shivamukapa and magic and belief systems and mind programs and points of contact and language, but what is it in the end? Is it more about that I keep walking around and keep doing things? Should I, like, continuously spell things out? Like, how do I think these things are? But as you might see, and as you might hear, how cultivated my voice is, and how I'm, like, perceiving the world, and what I was speaking about alchemy and building the philosopher's stone, and how the way I speak. Isn't there something to it? Why would I share that with me? Because I'm so ego, and I'm so, like, I love mirroring myself. And I love mirroring and saying shit on camera. Is it because of that? Or might it be because there is something to the things that I say? That's on you. Because I, like, out of the machine gun funk that I keep shooting at you with my truth, I don't know what it is exactly that's helping you, or if it even helps you. It seems like it's a mirror to myself, and it keeps empowering me. It keeps me alive in here. It keeps me doing the shit that I do, and I says I feel I feel with my heart that there is mess in it. It's chaos what I speak. It's just completely unstructured, and this is why I want to do the flip chart things to just like try to navigate the journey a bit better. But in the end, the internet is a labyrinth to itself. It's a maze run. It's like, and nobody's ever like getting out of the shit unless, or only when, they start to shut down their eyes and take a look into themselves. That's the only thing that you could ever do. This is what would do an end maze rabbit hole run. That's the only thing that can ever end it. If you take a look in to find out. And let me tell you, I was taking looks within all the time. I keep on mirroring. I will not stop speaking truth. I will not stop. Why should I ever stop speaking my soul? This is valuable. This is more than ever important in these times. For me, only for me. But also because I'm compassionate for you. And it does not matter anymore. Nothing really matters. Nothing ever exists. Nothing ever, like, people will forget this shit. People will forget. But I don't forget it because I have the God code activated. I am that. I'm not making shit up. I am the shit. I am what I speak about. I don't play a role here. I'm as brilliant and as clear-minded and as real as I am. I don't have a script. The only fucking thing that I'm speaking, like, and the last videos that I was not even using these. But you can probably even work with papers and pencils. But because I'm loving you, like, I'm showing that to you. Like, you see this. This is how it works. I work with my brain. Magic belief systems, mind programs, spells and signs have been crossed. Points of contact, brain training, and mirrors. Or mind program mirrors. It's a mirror to myself, it's nothing else. So what should I mirror all the time? Because I am God. I'm good. I'm good with what I have. I'm humble. I don't have to feed up myself for being fed in fat. And I could become the biggest and fattest motherfucker. I can fuck Mother Nature because I'm mature. But I would like there is not a reason why I should like fuck Mother Nature. But basically I could do is because I know how the fathers work. I know how the mothers work. The fathers and the mothers, the black and the white, become gray. So this is how you become wise. So this is only an interpretation of your nervous system, only an interpretation of your brain. So I start to work with my brain, with my avatar, so I'm with my systems internally to mirror out what I am. And it's like the only things, it's only my own frequency. It's only that. It's only my own frequency that I send out. Nothing else, nothing more. So this is why I work with my own frequency. I work with, like, appreciating. appreciating, being tolerant, being aware of what I say, and at the same time, I'm like, why? I'm not too aware of what I speak. I'm an open system. I can close myself and become more conscious about, like, you are very goofy. You are retarded, Jan. You are so retarded with what you say. And this is why I'm so transparent. Because I don't do this. I'm not shutting down myself to myself. I'm transparent to myself. I'm like, yo, this is me. I appreciate that. Seems like that's exactly what I should do. Because even if we take a look into past lives and like why we're here, and like synchronicities and why we're supposed to do things, you choose your path. You choose that. Subconsciously, consciously, definitely. You're right here, right now for a reason. And that's the exact reason why you're here. Because time is... What is time? Time is an interpretation of my senses. If I would take coffee, time seems like can be run by very fast or even very slow, because it's a matter of focus. How I'm transcending time. How I'm getting out of time, basically. Because I send out time, not you. I perceive the clock. The clock's not perceiving me. The sea lock. I see the lock. So this illusionary system is very funny. It's a mind game. It's a battle of the senses. So you better flip it around and start to invert yourself. Start to do a handstand. Literally, start to work with the things that you have. Start to appreciate see everything as a tool. When you see everything as a tool, you start to become a lot more free, and you start to become a lot more non-attached to it, and you start to become a lot more joyful with things. It's more joy, It's just you enjoy all things more. You appreciate all things more. Everything just becomes more of, hey, that's great, I could have everything. And I'm getting everything. You will get everything. The more you let go of things, the more you will attract. You will attract all of the things, because your mind capacity and your outlook on life, your perception starts to grow. You start to work more with, hey, what is it actually? What is it? Because everything is just a label to itself, a sigil. It's a symbol. It's a symbol. It's a construct that you interpret as something that you think it might be. But you don't know, what is it? Wait, is the mirror making you happy? Do you want to be happy? What do you want to be? And so, sometimes I'm very lost also in this game. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know where I want to be. I don't know. But I keep doing these things. The only thing to keep me going is to go through, to push through, to just do it, and see what goes around comes around. What I put out is what I receive. And this is also how I work with my fears, with spells that were put upon me. Oh, you cannot do it. You what you say sounds very far off the edge. And basically, that's only the mind programs of myself. Who actually ever said that to me? Nobody really is. And I take a look at my videos, and most of them are completely high rated. And it's not about that I get high ratings, but because I'm where I am, because I'm anchored in myself. I'm like pretty sure what I speak about is it's anchored. It's anchored truth in itself. So it doesn't really matter if you rate it up or if you thumb it down. Like, it doesn't matter. It does not matter, because what I'm speaking about is like something completely different. It doesn't matter. So nothing really matters. It's all a question, like, how I perceive the world. How do I look out? How does my mind work? So what is the belief system? How is my magic functioning? I'm wizarding all the time. And what kinds of contact am I? I'm only in contact with myself, basically. So I keep training my brain. I keep training my mirrors. I keep training myself, and we see what goes around comes around. Stay alive in here. Have fun, enjoy the game, enjoy the tokens, enjoy the magic, enjoy the presents, and yeah, thank you. It's a journey, and I really appreciate the mirror to myself and you, of course. So stay true, stay awesome, stay humble, stay compassionate, stay tolerant.